And then a couple of weeks in, I started losing the weight very easily. And that was the first time in my life where I could eat a portion that would satisfy me and still lose weight. And I could eat 3 meals a day, and I even had snacks. That was the first time in my life where I had 3 meals a day and I had 1 or 2 snacks even, and I was still losing weight. And I was like, this is incredible. Why did nobody ever told me that before? Hi, it's Anna, and today I'm making this video to film my vegan story basically. I wanna tell you guys the story about how I first became plant-based, how that happened, and how many years that's been, and why I finally made the decision to go vegan, and why it took me so long to make that decision, even though I was basically plant-based for the past 3 years. My vegan or plant-based story pretty much began in the beginning of 2016. I think even in January, because you know how it is, New Year's resolution, I want to do more exercise, I want to do this and this and this, I want to be healthier. And yeah, pretty much since my teenage years, I've always had one major problem. I've always struggled with my weight. You know how it is as a kid, you don't gain weight. Like, you can eat whatever you want, never see it on the scale, and then, at least if you're a girl, that's the case, suddenly you turn 11, 12 and things start to change. So I suddenly started to gain a lot of weight, even though I was eating the same things I was eating before. I think I was about 13 years old where I realized, oh my god, I'm gaining weight, I'm a teenager suddenly. Also, it becomes very important how you look, and you don't want to be overweight. Also, a big issue for me was that I was always doing ballet, and at around 14, I think 13, 14 years old, I started to take it very seriously, and I really wanted, like, I had the dream for the longest time to become a dancer, a ballet dancer. Of course, that was totally unrealistic, and I never even had the chance, but I was training on a professional level, and I was training 5 times a week. So there starts my first diet. Basically, that was the first time in my life where I was dieting, and I continued dieting until my whole life, pretty much. I was dieting, I was losing weight. My goal, like as a teenager up until I was 18, my goal was always to be under 50 kilograms because I wanted to be a ballet dancer, which is also totally unrealistic when you consider my height. And every time I started eating normal again, I would gain that weight, even though I was doing ballet 5 times a week. And that continued until after school. I went to university, and I was always active. I continued ballet, even though it was now only 2 times a week, not 5 times a week, but I was always physically active. I always did exercise. But the thing that never changed was as soon as I would eat a normal amount, which, I mean, as soon as I would eat 3 meals a day, like breakfast, lunch and dinner, I would gain weight straight away. And I was always blaming it on my metabolism. I'm gaining weight because my metabolism is shit, and I hate people who can eat whatever they want and they don't gain weight. And why am I so unlucky? Why am I doomed to have to restrict my calories? Because for years and years what would happen is I would eat 3 meals a day, I would gain weight, and then I would cut down on meals or do the classic thing of like, oh yeah, let's have salad with egg or salad with chicken. Always when I was dieting, I was trying to limit carbohydrates because those are the bad things. I mean, yeah, God beware if you eat a potato or rice or even pasta or bread when you want to lose weight. Like, if you eat those things, that's what I thought, you're gonna explode, you're gonna gain so much weight, you're gonna be fat. And yeah, so always when I was dieting, I would lose weight. I would be extremely unhappy though, because you try to live without carbohydrates, you are unhappy, at least I'm unhappy. So what would happen is, limiting my calories, losing weight. A lot of times I would just skip a meal completely, like I wouldn't have breakfast and I would only have lunch or dinner. And there was also a lovely period of my life where I actually only had one meal a day, because I was a student, I was very busy. I was also working at a bar to be able to support my studies. So my life would be like, wake up late, don't eat breakfast, don't eat lunch, then eat a big meal before work, and then work. And yeah, at those times when I would eat like that, I would be losing weight or maintaining my weight with eating one meal a day. But of course, whenever I was at a time where I was more consistent with my meals, and every time I was getting into a healthy meal plan of breakfast, lunch and dinner, I would gain weight. And I would gain weight to the point where like it was too much for me. I was never really overweight, like I was never at an unhealthy BMI, but I was definitely at like the higher range when I was eating normally, and then when I was skipping meals and dieting, I was again on the lower range. So that went on and on and on and on and on for like 10 years. So I was pretty unhappy with my food. And then I was at the point, it was Christmas, I had a boyfriend, and then we went to his family, and his family are huge meat eaters. They have a barbecue every single day, everything meat, and it was also Christmas, so a lot of sweets, as you can imagine. And I came back from this Christmas and I was the heaviest that I've ever been. Suddenly I looked at the scale and I had to lose 8 or 9 kilograms to be at a normal weight again. And I was like, oh my God, how did this happen? So what did I do? The only thing that I knew to do, I started to restricting my carbohydrates. I went on a diet and I started eating salad with chicken and salad with egg and salad with chicken and carrots and all those foods that don't really make you happy, they don't really make you full. You're really unhappy, because I would eat and then I would exercise and then I would be so hungry again, but I know I couldn't eat because I was trying to lose all that weight and I felt like I wasn't succeeding, it wasn't going well at all. And I was so unhappy. And that was the first time, I don't know, during that period I was also trying to like live a consistent life. Like I was trying not to skip meals, because I was like, it can't be like I should be able to have 3 meals a day without gaining weight. I should be able to have 3 meals a day and like slowly manage to lose weight. So I was slowly realizing that the thing I was doing is not working. Everything I was doing for the past years is not working, and I was wondering why, and I was starting to like search for solutions. I started like YouTubing weight loss tips and like fitness people, and I was doing a lot of exercise videos on YouTube, and I was also following a lot of people who like have fitness motivation and tell you how to lose weight and all of that. And that was the first time in my life where a YouTube video got recommended to me from vegan people. So I clicked on it and it was like how to really lose weight, how to be healthy and lose weight. And yeah, it was all about eating a vegan diet and eating a high carbohydrate, low fat diet. And I remember those people saying in the video, like, you can't eat a normal diet without gaining weight unless you restrict your calories. And the only way to eat and be satisfied with the amount you eat is a vegan diet. And I was like, this is ridiculous. What are they trying to tell me? Like I was this typical meat eater being like, oh my god, you're trying to tell me that I can't have milk and dairy products? Like, yeah, then, but I couldn't stop watching the videos, and my diet wasn't going really well either. So at some point, I think in the beginning I watched like a couple of people that were very, like I personally did not like them. So my motivation to believe them was very, very low. But then as I was watching them, other videos got recommended to me and like some more friendlier people popped up. So I watched them and then I was like, hey, maybe they have a point. So I started incorporating more plant foods and cutting out more meat and dairy products out of my diet. And I think I said straight away, like, I can't live without feta cheese, like goat cheese, feta cheese. But I don't need dairy products. Like I was never a big fan of dairy products. And I think the first switch I did was instead of milk, I bought, I think coconut or oat milk or almond milk, something like that. And I had that. And I was like, oh my god, why am I putting milk in my coffee? Why? This tastes amazing. Why didn't I put this into my coffee for years and years and years and years? This was so positive. And then I saw a couple of vegan recipes and I started cooking those, and it was always a lot of rice, a lot of veggies, even pasta, and I started eating that way. And whereas I would normally make like a sauce based, like with cream, like a dairy based sauce, I made a tomato sauce or something else, you know. And a week or two later I was like, oh my god, I feel amazing. I haven't felt so amazing in a long time. I felt like I was newborn, and I was still eating feta cheese, but I think everything else I limited so quickly because I was feeling so good. And I was like, if I'm feeling so good, then why do I eat yogurt, for instance? Why do I eat chicken? So I limited all of it, and in the end even the feta cheese went, and the more I did that, the more amazing I felt. And then a couple of weeks in, I started losing the weight very easily, and that was the first time in my life where I could eat a portion that would satisfy me and still lose weight. And I could eat 3 meals a day, and I even had snacks. That was the first time in my life where I had 3 meals a day and I had 1 or 2 snacks even, and I was still losing weight. And I was like, this is incredible. Why did nobody ever told me that before? Then I started wondering why. Like, why am I feeling so great? Why am I feeling all these health benefits? Other than the weight loss, I always had very dry skin, and during winter, it was horrible, and suddenly my dry skin went away, even though it was winter. My skin on my face cleared up so much, and I felt so incredible. So then I started doing the research, and I started also over YouTube, everything over YouTube, watching YouTubers that were recommending, like they were saying like the research and like the health aspect, and then also recommended documentaries. So I started watching documentaries, and I was blown away, and I really believed that stuff they were saying, because I felt so incredible. So then if you read studies that support the claim that meat and dairy isn't actually healthy, like if you believe that because you feel amazing. And then I also started watching documentaries about the environmental aspect of it. Like I watched Cowspiracy, and it absolutely blew my mind, because I had never in my life made that connection before. Obviously I knew that I consume meat and animals get killed. I mean, I grew up in Greece, where I've seen as a kid a lot of animals getting slaughtered, a lot of chickens, even goats. Like, I was never disconnected from that aspect, and I knew that the animals are not treated well, because honestly, at this age, is there any person that actually really believes that the animals are treated well, the animals he's eating? I can't believe that. I think, like, you know, and I always knew, it was just I didn't think about it. So the animal aspect has only become important to me now in the end of it all, because maybe I got more emotional about it, I don't know. But like, first for me it was the health aspect, and then the environmental aspect, because I had never thought that eating animals has such an impact on the environment. I honestly didn't even think about any impact that it could have. Like, it's crazy. And I watched Conspiracy and I was absolutely blown away that how consumption of animals and their byproducts is so detrimental for the environment. And that was my biggest shock, because I had never thought about that before. And that changed my life. But I started off with still having 1 day a week where I would have one non-vegan meal. So I was like 6 days a week I eat plant-based, and 1 day a week I still had that meal. It was mainly because I really enjoy going out for food, and that was always a big part of my relationships. And back then, that's only 3 years ago, but back then, most of the restaurants didn't even have a vegan option. Like, now it's a lot different. Now I think I can go to all those restaurants and they all have a vegan option, which is amazing. But back then I was like, okay, I have this once a week where I still want to go to a restaurant and enjoy myself, and I don't want to be the inconvenience. I don't want to be the person who's like, oh, let's go somewhere else, and ask the waiter to make something vegan for me, because I'm really shy and I don't like confrontation. First it was once a week, then maybe once every 2 weeks, then maybe once a month. And now I think pretty much for the past 1.5 years, it's been like once every 2 months, once every 3 months, because if I'm anywhere where there are vegan options, I'm gonna have the vegan options, because I don't see the point to eat the animal product anymore. Yeah, now you might ask, but why didn't you go fully vegan now? Why did it take you 3 years to go from plant-based to vegan? Why did you only took now the decision to go vegan? I think the main reason why I didn't went vegan earlier, why it took me such a long time, is that I don't like confrontation. And the fact that I exist and I eat a plant-based diet, or I go somewhere with people and I eat a plant-based diet, always offends so many people and always gets me such a confrontation, which is crazy to think about. People always say, oh, vegans are so militant, and a vegan is gonna tell you that he's vegan. I never do that. And honestly, like, where are all the militant vegans? Please let me know, because I want to meet some, because I'm the only vegan in my area. I feel like, at least with my circle of friends, I'm the only vegan. Family, the only vegan. And it seems like everywhere I go, I have to explain myself. So yeah, I'll be sitting at a restaurant with friends or family or other people, and I will order the vegan option without even saying anything. I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just have the vegetable curry, please. And then somebody will always be like, oh, are you vegan? And then I'll be like, well, I eat a plant-based diet, which to them, they don't even have that separation. They're like, okay, so you're vegan then. And then they always start confronting me about the whys and the hows, and like, oh, so this is what you eat, what you people eat. And then when I try to explain to them why I'm doing them, because they've asked, a lot of them get insanely offended. And then you start having conversations about the soy that you're eating is destroying the rainforest, or you think avocado is better than milk, you know what avocado does to the environment? And I hate that. And I am like, it's crazy. I'm so like non-confrontational, and I'm so scared to like offend people that I rather chose to have a non-vegan meal once every couple of months than causing an inconvenience. And I always try to keep so low key because I don't want to be offending people, and I don't want to have the conversation for the millionth time why I eat vegan or why I eat plant-based. Like, and when I explain, because I feel so good and this, and God beware if I mention the environment or the animals, then they get really angry. So I always left this back window for me open. This, I'm not vegan, I'm plant-based, and if I have to, then like I'll eat a non-vegan meal, and it's not a big deal for me because I don't want to be confronted. And it took me such a long time to now make the decision to be like, okay, but why? Why can't you just say, yes, I'm vegan. I don't need that non-vegan meal once every 3 months. I don't need it. So why have it? Why can't I just say, I'm vegan because this is what I believe in, and my heart and my soul and everything believes that this is the right thing to do, because we are destroying our planet at the moment, and if we don't act, then it's going to be too late for our children and grandchildren. 2019 came, we had a death in our family, which really makes you sit down and think like, what do I want for my life? Who do I want to be? I want to be a positive vegan which lives his life and shows other people how great it is to be vegan. And it took me such a long time to do that, but I really know that this is the thing that I want to do. And I want to be vegan, and I want to live a sustainable life, and I want to do the right choices for my life, and I also want to be active about it because this is the person I want to be. So yeah, this is why 2 weeks ago I said, it's enough. I'm vegan. My mind has been vegan for the past 2.5 years really. And now I really need to stick with this decision and really be active about it and really do the impact, because it's, if you eat plant-based, in the end it's inevitable that you are gonna go vegan. I think so, because you're gonna see that what you do makes an impact. This is my vegan story. This is why I'm vegan now, and this is why it took me such a long time. This is why it took me 3 years to go from plant-based to vegan, and it was a journey. It was my journey. I had to go through that. So yeah, I hope it's more clear now why I'm vegan now, but I wasn't before that, but I was still living a plant-based lifestyle for 3 years, so I'm not that new to veganism. Like, I feel like when it comes to nutrition and how I eat, I feel like I really have it down and I'm confident about it. I hope maybe it was a motivation for you if you are like me and you're scared to confront people, and if you are like me and you don't want to be confronted about you living a plant-based or vegan life. I really hope that you get the confidence to put yourself out there and to say to those people that always confront you about what you eat and why you don't eat this and this and this, that you believe in this and this is why you're doing this. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of those videos, then subscribe to my channel, because I'll be planning to post a lot more about those things. But yeah, this is it for now, and if you want to see all the little changes that I'm doing in my life, then you can go and follow me on Instagram. I'll put the link below, and I'm hoping to see you soon. Bye! Also, if you can't see that, I'm wearing dungarees. which used to be my mom's back in the 90s. Yes, it's a Sunday. I didn't leave the house today. And this is the situation right here. And even if you look at those legs, look at that. Isn't that so sexy? Oh, I'll be on the internet with dungarees.